Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving deep into one of the most important and quietly powerful technologies in the world of modern aerial warfare, the Israeli ELM-2032 Advanced Fire Control Radar. This radar might not be as famous as fighter jets themselves, but let me tell you this. In today's air combat, a jet is only as good as its radar. Engines give power, missiles give firepower, but radar gives awareness, and awareness is what wins the fight before it even begins. The ELM-2032 is one of those systems that completely transforms a fighter jet's capability, turning even older aircraft into highly competitive machines on a modern battlefield. To understand why the ELM-2032 is such a big deal, we first need to understand the evolution of air combat. Decades ago, fighter jets relied heavily on visual range engagements. Pilots needed to visually identify targets and get close enough to fire guns or short-range missiles. But the rise of radar-guided missiles beyond visual, range combat, electronic warfare, and high-speed engagements changed everything. Today, a pilot's survival depends on how early they detect the enemy and how accurately they track them. That's where radars like the ELM-2032 come in. The ELM-2032 was developed by Israel Aerospace Industries, a country known for its cutting-edge defense technology. Israel's Air Force has been in constant conflict situations since its creation, so they innovate quickly, test systems under real combat, and refine them continuously. The ELM-2032 is a product of that environment: compact, intelligent, combat, proven, and reliable. One of the most remarkable things about this radar is its adaptability. It's not locked to one type of aircraft. It has been fitted into Western jets, Eastern jets, light combat aircraft, older platforms, and modern trainers. You'll find it in aircraft like the F-4 Phantom, the F-5 Tiger Roman II, the Sea Harrier, the Indian Jaguar, the FA-50, and even upgraded Mirage variants. The radar doesn't demand a completely new aircraft, it upgrades what you already have. This is why many air forces prefer it. Instead of spending billions on new fighters, they upgrade old jets with new eyes and new brains. Let's dive deeper into how the radar works in an air-to-air environment. Imagine a scenario. The aircraft is cruising at high altitude, scanning the sky. The pilot doesn't know where the enemy might come from. It could be from above, below, behind, or far ahead. The ELM-2032 continuously sweeps the airspace, sending out electromagnetic pulses that bounce off objects and return to the radar. Its advanced signal processing analyzes these reflections to determine what's out there: aircraft, missiles, drones, or even stealthy low-RCS targets. One thing that sets the ELM-2032 apart is its long detection range relative to its size. Despite being lightweight and compact, it can detect enemy aircraft dozens of kilometers away, long before they reach missile range. But detection alone isn't enough. Modern dogfights are fought with information. The ELM-2032 can track multiple targets simultaneously, prioritizing threats automatically by analyzing speed, direction, altitude, and behavior. A pilot doesn't have time to manually track everything in a chaotic sky, so the radar reduces workload dramatically. This multi-target tracking capability is extremely important in beyond visual range combat. For example, if the pilot is facing multiple enemy aircraft, the radar can lock onto several of them at once. It allows the pilot to launch missiles at more than one target, guiding them until the missile's own radar takes over. In a scenario where split-second decisions matter, this is a massive tactical advantage. Now, let's shift to air-to-ground missions, where the radar becomes a completely different beast. The ELM-2032 isn't just a tracking radar, it's a precision targeting tool. Through modes like synthetic aperture radar, the radar can generate high high-resolution images of the ground, even in bad weather, nighttime, or smoke-filled environments where normal cameras fail. The radar paints a detailed picture. Tanks, bunkers, artillery positions, and moving vehicles become visible to the pilot. With these images, the pilot can identify and strike targets with incredible accuracy. The radar can guide smart munitions, calculate impact points, and continuously track moving ground targets. For example, if the enemy convoy is moving at high speed, the radar can predict their path and guide a weapon to intercept them perfectly. This radar also supports terrain following mode, allowing aircraft to fly safely at low altitudes without hitting mountains or obstacles. This is extremely important during penetration missions where stealth and surprise are key. One of the radar's biggest strengths is its robust performance in electronic warfare environments. Modern battles aren't just physical, they are electromagnetic. Enemies will try to jam radars, confuse them, and block their signals. But the ELM-2032 uses advanced countermeasures to keep functioning even under heavy jamming. It can filter out noise, adapt its pulse patterns, and maintain lock on targets even when the enemy tries to disappear behind electronic clouds. This capability alone makes it battle-ready for the toughest environments. Another major advantage is that the radar is modular and easy to maintain. Fighter jets spend more time on the ground than in the air, and any radar that takes too long to service becomes a burden. The ELM-2032 was designed to be user-friendly, allowing technicians to replace components quickly without dismantling the whole system. This means higher availability and more sorties. But the real magic of the ELM-2032 lies in how it extends the lifespan of older aircraft. Many countries around the world operate jets that were designed decades ago. Engines can be upgraded, avionics can be modernized, but without a good radar, the aircraft is practically blind. When the ELM-2032 is installed on an older jet, its combat capability can jump by decades. Suddenly, a 1970 jet can detect modern aircraft, launch modern missiles, and perform modern missions. This is why countries like India upgraded their Sea Harriers with the ELM-2032, giving them the ability to fire advanced missiles. South Korea integrated it into their FA-50, turning a light trainer into a light multi-role fighter. Brazil, Chile, Singapore, and several other nations adopted it for their upgraded fighters. The radar's flexibility is what makes it so attractive to air forces worldwide. Let's discuss why radar technology matters so much. In air combat, the first rule is simple. The one who sees first has the advantage. If you detect the enemy before they detect you, you can choose the time, place, and angle of attack. You can decide whether to engage or retreat. You can lock onto them before they even know you're there. Modern missiles are extremely deadly, but they depend entirely on the radar's guidance in the early launch stages. A stronger radar means greater missile effectiveness. A weaker radar means vulnerability. Another thing that's often overlooked is pilot confidence. When a pilot knows that their radar is reliable, resistant to jamming, accurate, and fast, they fight more aggressively and efficiently. They can maneuver with trust that the radar picture is real, not confused by interference or clutter. The ELM-2032 also plays a key role in coastal defense. When mounted on naval aircraft or maritime patrol fighters, it can detect ships, low-lying aircraft, skimming missiles, and even small boats moving at high speed. Its sea search modes are specially optimized to filter wave clutter, something cheaper radars struggle with. What's even more interesting is how the radar interacts with modern weapons. Many advanced air-where missiles require mid-course updates from the launching aircraft. The radar tracks both the target and the missile's position, sending corrections through a data link. This ensures that the missile remains on the correct path until its own seeker takes over. Without this level of radar sophistication, long-range missile engagements would be impossible. In strike missions, the radar pairs with laser-guided bombs, GPS-guided munitions, and anti-ship missiles. For example, an aircraft can use the ELM-2032 to identify a ship hundreds of kilometers away, classify it, and feed targeting information into an anti-ship missile system. Another benefit of the ELM-2032 is that it is constantly being upgraded. New software updates, improved processing algorithms, and enhanced detection modes keep it up to date with the changing landscape of warfare. Unlike older radars that required hardware replacements, the ELM-2032 can evolve through software changes, making it future-proof. Let's consider an example scenario to understand its battlefield value. Imagine a squadron of upgraded F-5 fighters equipped with the ELM-2032. These jets are flying a defensive patrol when enemy aircraft approach. On older radars, the F-5s might only detect the enemy at a short range, giving them no time to prepare. But with the ELM-2032, they detect the hostile aircraft much earlier, begin tracking them automatically, and relay data to ground command. They can fire beyond visual range missiles, break formation to confuse enemy sensors, and still maintain radar locks. Suddenly, a lightweight, decades-old jet becomes a serious threat. Now imagine a nighttime strike mission over mountainous terrain. The ELM-2032 uses terrain mapping and synthetic aperture radar modes to identify targets hidden in valleys or camouflaged under foliage. The pilot doesn't need visual confirmation. The radar's imaging allows precision strikes even in zero visibility. This is the true power of the ELM-2032: versatility, air-to-air superiority, air-to-ground precision, maritime patrol, electronic warfare resistance, multi-target engagement, long-range detection, and support for modern weapons all in one compact unit. In conclusion, the ELM-2032 isn't just a radar. It is a force multiplier. It transforms average jets into powerful fighters. It extends the life of old aircraft. It gives pilots unmatched situational awareness. It ensures mission success even in hostile environments. And it represents decades of Israeli experience in real combat scenarios, refined and perfected into a world-class system. Thank you for watching and staying with me till the end. If you enjoyed this deep dive into advanced military technology, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Your support motivates me to bring even more detailed and high-quality defense content. I'll see you in the next video.